So, magandang gabi po ulit sa inyong lahat at nandito ulit ako para mag-discuss ng panibago nating topic tungkol sa developing SQL databases at ang topic po na napunta sa akin ay creating user-defined function. So, let's start. So, the creating user-defined function module, it provides us with the instruction and devices to develop our hands-on skills on the following topics. So, may dalawa po tayong topics na i-cover for today. Ang number 1 po nyon is yung working with scalar function. And number 2, using table valued function. So, let's proceed. So, exercise number 1 na tayo. So, working with scalar function. So, medyo mahaba po yung nakasulat dito, pero sinamarize ko na siya. So, ano nga ba yung scalar function na tinatawag natin? So, scalar function, it takes one or more parameters and returns a single value. So, papaano natin or bakit natin ginagamit itong scalar function? Ano nga ba yung tulong nito? So, scalar function po, it helps us to simplify our code. So, for example, you may have a complex calculation that appears in many queries. So, instead of including the formula in every query, so imbis na isa-isahin natin siya, yung tulong ng scalar function, you can create a scalar function that encapsulates the formula and uses it in each query. So, another example naman po na nakasulat dito, sabi dito, you can use the scalar function if you want to calculate the average sales in a week. So, the total quantity of products sold in a month and so on. So, scalar function basically, ito yung nagpapaikli ng mga trabaho natin, imbis na isa-isahin pa natin siya. So, let's proceed. So, the syntax to create a scalar function is as follows. So, ito po yung nakikita sa screen na to, ito yung kanyang syntax. So, let's proceed to task 1. Implement scalar function to return a single value. So, in this task, we will learn to create and implement a scalar function currency rate difference with 3 variables. So, yung 3 variables na ito yung at start date, number 2, end date, and rate difference. So, the function calculates the currency rate difference between the starting rate and the ending rate of the day. So, the function retrieves fields from the fact currency rate table. So, the function returns the currency rate difference in the rate difference value. So, you will also learn to invoke or call the scalar function na malalaman natin mamaya. So, step 1 tayo. Ensure you have powered on the required devices and connect to Flab SQL 1. So, nagawa na natin yan. And step 2, from the Flab SQL 1 desktop, click Start and click Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. And ito po yung lalabas after natin ma-proceed itong step 2 natin. And step 3, so ito na yung SQL Server Management Studio natin. So in the Object Explorer, click to expand the database folder. So expand natin ito. And step 4, to select the database from the list of databases, click AdventureWorks DW 2016 CTP3. So, ito. Alright, so to create a new query from the query ribbon, click New Query tayo. Alright. Yan. So, step 5, the new query panes open. So, step 6, to create a scalar function, type the following query. So, check natin ito. Yan. So, ano nga ba yung code na kinapapaste natin na to? So, in this given query, we will create a function currency rate difference with the following 3 parameters. So, ito yung 3 parameters na yun. Number 1 is yung currency ID. Number 2 yung start date and the end date. So, the return value is of the data type float. So, the return variables, starting rate and rate difference are declared. So, in the body daw ng function natin, the currency rate difference between the start date and end date is calculated and stored in the variable. So, yung at rate difference naman natin, so the function returns the value after the calculation. So, step 7, irarun natin ito. Press F5 tayo. And may lumabas na message na command completed successfully. So, proceed tayo with the step 8. So, step 8, create tayo ng panibago nating query. And, ito na. To call or invoke the DB or the currency rate difference function, type the following query. So, type natin ito. Ayan. So, in this given query, you will invoke the currency rate difference function with the following values assigned to each other. So, may tatlo tayong 3 parameters kanina na nabanggit. Ito yung currency ID, start date, and end date. So, let's see. I-run natin ito. So yan, may lumabas dito. Is successfully executed and the result is displayed in the result pane that shows the currency rate difference. So, ito yon. So, proceed tayo. Step 3 na tayo. So, sa step 3 natin, ay sa exercise number 2 pala, using table valued function. So, table valued function or TVF, it returns an entire table as a result. So, the table valued function statement has 3 parts. Yung 3 parts na to, unahin natin yung return clause. So, ano yung return clause natin? Return clause daw, it allows you to retrieve values of columns and expression based on columns that were modified by an insert, delete, or update. So, number 2 yung function body natin. Sabi dito, it insert records in the return value as per the condition specified. So, ang pangatlo natin yung return statement. Ang return statement daw is used to unconditionally and immediately terminate an SQL procedure by returning the flow of control to the caller of the stored proceed. So, sabi dito, TVF can be reused in query statement. So, there are 2 types of table valued function and they are as follows. So, inline. So, ito yung syntax ng inline natin. And ito yung multi-statement natin. So, ano nga ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa na yon? So, ang inline table valued function natin, it refers to TVF where the function body just contain one line of select statement. So, sabi doon, there is not return variable. So, while yung multiple statement table valued naman natin, yung function niya, it refers to a TVF where it has a return table variable. So, let's proceed tayo sa task 1 natin. Implement inline table valued function. So, in this task, we will learn to create and implement an inline table valued function. So the body of the function selects specific records from the product table and returns to table 2 at p_product ID. So, inline table valued function, yun nga, tulad ng sabi ko kanina, yung inline table function natin can return only a single record in a table format. So the function is to invoke the return required record. So, the table valued function are invoked or called using from or join clause natin. So, step 1 tayo, createan ng panibago nating query. And, copy natin ito. Yan, so dito sa kinapin natin, in this given query, you create a function UDF product details with p_product ID as a local return variable. So, the query selects all the fields from the product table where the product key is equal daw sa p_product ID natin. So, step 2, as usual, i-run natin ito. So, may message dito na command completed successfully and proceed tayo with the step 3. Create tayo ng panibago nating query. So, dito sa step 3, to call or invoke the UDF product details function, type the following query in the new query pane. So, type natin ulit ito. So, dito sa type natin, you will call or invoke the function UDF product details with input parameter p_product ID is equal to 1. So, check natin. Ayan, so equal to 1 siya. So, tama yung nagawa natin. So, task 2 tayo. Work with multi-statement table valued function. So, in this task, we will learn to create and implement multi-statement table valued function with the currency rate difference with the start date and date parameters. So, the function returns currency difference in the rate difference variable and currency key field from the currency table between the specified start date and end date. So, this function daw calculates the currency difference and display the result with raw numbers sequentially using the row_number function. So, and yung row na underscore number function numbers that output of the result starting at 1. So the function uses multiple data manipulation language or DML statements such as select and update to retrieve the required result in table format. So step 1 tayo, create tayo ng panibago natin query. Okay, copy natin ito. So in this given query daw, we will create a multi-statement table valued function. So the result are retrieved in the CU or a rate difference table. So the result set consists of currency key and rate difference. So the insert statement inserts the retrieved records in the rate difference table. So the select statement retrieves the currency key and end of day rate fields from the fact currency table between the start date and date parameters. Row number function with partition by clause applied the currency key field numbers in the field descending order of the currency rate. So step 2 tayo, run natin ito. So may lumabas na message na command completed successfully. So proceed tayo sa step 3 natin, create tayo ng panibago ulit. So dito sa step 3 natin, magko-call ulit tayo, mag-invoke ulit tayo sa UDF currency rate difference function natin. So check natin, run ulit natin. So yan. So sabi dito, the result is displayed in the result pane that shows fields returned by the user defined function. Okay? And that's it. Na-cover natin yung dalawang topic natin, yung number 1 yung working with scalar function and number 2 using table valued function. Thank you for listening.